This
Because
conference will now be recorded.
Sorry, what was that, Jabari?
he could not send mine either. I'm at a meeting before this, and he could not send because he had another engagement. He said he'd try, but he wasn't able to make it. So maybe that's the same engagement that's keeping him from this one.
Oh, okay. Understood. No worries. Thankfully, we have Carl over here who did go to the regional summit, so he can maybe give us an idea of how things went. One sec, Carl. Let me just go over the agenda first. Thanks.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, let me share my screen. All right, can everyone see the screen?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So we have a few items to go through today. I think it's probably gonna depend on whether we get attendance from the other areas, but regardless, I think we can probably give some quick updates over here. First of all, I want to reiterate again that the groups.io invitation has been updated. So all future communication will be routed through this group. My assumption is that everyone who's on this call is already, is already subscribed to the ACS Door Heat Exchanger subproject in groups.io. Considering that you all are on the call and you all received the latest meeting series. If you do know anyone who's interested in getting involved in the Door Heat Exchanger subproject, please do direct them to this link over here. It will take them to the groups.io page. If someone hasn't registered with groups.io, they probably should, because everything in OCP does go through this interface. And then they can subscribe to the ACS Door Heat Exchanger subproject, and then they'll receive all communication that happens, in this community. Okay, that was just I'll continue to do this over the next few meetings just to make sure everybody transitions. But I would assume everyone on the call already has signed up over here. Moving on to the 2023 OCP Regional Summit in Prague was last week. The Door Heat Exchanger subproject did have some presence at the regional summit. We had Juan Carlos, who presented the ACS Door Heat Exchanger subproject update. And then we have Carl, who's on the call, who presented about densifying modular data centers with hybrid cooling. Carl, is there anything you'd like to share with us about how the summit went and how the material or the presentation was received?
Yeah, I'm happy to give some impressions. Overall, there was a really good attendance. I think the OCP folks were quite happy with coming back to Europe due to ongoing political and and therefore energy crisis. The interest in OCP solutions, in energy efficiency, and in dematerialization of IT equipment, I think is more of a focus. And the attendance for the workshop was really good. We were talking we had 4 sessions on, or like 3 sessions on modular data centers, and I think 3 sessions on rack solutions. And in the room were about overall around 40 people, tops I think 45, but people coming in and out, and was good attendance. We were presenting on basically combining what is known as the 90 kilowatt modular data center specification, and to use the existing tools in the OpenRack V3 tool chain with the automatic manifolds and rear door cooling, to see how much of capacity we can get into that housing frame or module frame, basically. And yeah, we had some questions, some interest, people thinking about this in solutions. We had one interest from academia in terms of HPC. We also had some discussions afterwards with telco providers who started looking into liquid cooling. And so overall, it was a really nice, a really nice group, really nice presentation, and I think it was well received. Also, yeah, with a call to action to now start working on this initially as a white paper, and yeah, I think that there will be more. I think it will be if we continue to be able to communicate it to the community, we could present the white paper also in front of a nice crowd at the Global Summit.
Absolutely, yeah, and thanks for representing the Dough Heat Exchange sub project as part of this this topic, Carl. Really appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, and obviously people from retail were there and were present. So that was good.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue to Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos, are you
Yeah,
you
I'm
there?
here. Yeah.
Do you mind just telling us how how was the regional summit, and how was the material and the presentation received?
Yeah. Maybe I start in the summit was, from my point of view, very interesting. Too many customers come to us asking about liquid cooling reactors. I think reactors are being a very high topic also in the summit, in this summit in Prague, with European customers. I was surprised because too many customers were asking about the rear doors. Not only the rear doors, but hybrid systems, air-assisted systems less, but I think no many of our customers know how it's working a hybrid system. They didn't touch this system, they didn't see it, so they will not ask about something they don't know. But yeah, the feedback was really good. Many customers come to us, suppliers and so on. And the place amazing, really good, and the people as well. From the point of view of the presentation, not too many people were in this presentation because it was at Thursday at maybe at 2 o'clock, something like that. And this time, many people go away, also come back to his homes, and maybe therefore the assistance was not very high because before lunch, this room was completely full, or not full, but really many people were there. Yeah, showing this the topic of cooling. But yeah, I think it was really positive. And someone asked about the fanless reactors, if we are also considering reactors without fans, but yeah, anyone else ask about this topic. But yeah, I'm very happy with this summit.
Great, yeah. Yeah, thanks so much, Juan Carlos, for representing the Dough Heat Exchanger community. So really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Sure.
All right. Okay, so moving on to topics that we have had in discussion in recent weeks. I did want to touch on a couple of things in these areas. Unfortunately, it seems like Benny had to drop off the call, but With regards to the reference design for door heat exchanger deployments, or conversely talking about what does a megawatt of door heat exchanger deployments look like, this is an effort, you know, that involves the door heat exchanger community, but primarily the ACF leads and Vertiv. We did have an offline conversation prior to the regional summit. This was a conversation between Vertiv, Benny specifically, John Gross from the ACF community, and Jabari and I were on that call. Effectively, the suggestion was to start as a white paper, which is a much more common mode of contribution to OCP. John Gross feels like that there is more engagement with OCP required to better define a reference design if we ever do transition to make that contribution. And then Vertiv also shared, what their reference design format looks like. So that could be used as a starting point. So in terms of next steps, this is probably something that's going to happen in the next week or so. John Gross wanted to set up the call with OCP leadership during the regional summit. Unfortunately, that didn't come to be. So it'll probably have to be a conversation in the coming weeks, basically to discuss, how to set up contributions in the format of reference designs. And then John Gross also has an action to circle back on, just a high-level bullet list that we can use as a reference for, getting started on material for the white paper. So if there's anyone who would like to be involved in this effort, please speak up now. But I think otherwise it's probably going to be ACF, Vertiv, and then Jabari and I will probably try to support as much as possible. But if there's anyone who feels like they could really contribute over here and wants to be involved, we would happy. I think now's the time to kind of let us know if this is something that you can help with.
John, I discussed with John Gross in Prague about this topic. He told me that he will set a meeting this week or after this week. So yeah, I can contribute as much as I can. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So to be included. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, the next time we have this door heat exchanger call, we'll have hopefully something to bring back to the community, at least in terms of a discussion with OCP and next steps. All right, moving on, we have densifying modular data centers with hybrid cooling. Carl, if you don't mind, maybe talking about where we're at currently and where we're going next.
Yes, absolutely. So John and I this week had a bit of a brainstorming what we now, after basically presenting at the summit and having like an official call to action, where what needs to happen and what we need to do to get this on the road. And we thought about who should be on this call and what we need to include in this white paper. And so we are now at a comfortable state where we have a document to share and also a capable group of people to work on that, which is not closed. Rather, it's we would be happy to include other perspectives or have maybe also welcome people from another modular data center perspective, like for example Vertiv or Schneider, to look into that effort, because I think we potentially, with what we set as parameters, we even also could end up in a 1 megawatt or close to 1 megawatt of useful capacity in a very compact form factor, which is the effort in calling for densifying this. And so, yeah, we happy to include more people in this, or to share it, especially in this group, to be able to move forward from now on and start drafting out the document, and to be able to in summertime to have this shared and get feedback from the community.
Thanks, Carl. When you were talking about Vertiv and Schneider, I guess maybe, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're talking more in terms of, as you densify, well, sorry, let me rephrase that. As you increase the capacity of the modular data center, I believe you're talking more in terms of like the implications on, okay, what does this mean for the electrical system and so on and so forth. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah. If they have uh, input on maybe HPC deployments they have, or electrical limitations that they see, because I think we discussed that obviously the cooling is one part of that, but the other aspect is obviously having a main distribution and be able to get the energy out to the racks in that high with that high of a capacity. And so that electrical perspective would also be very welcome.
Yep. I mean, certainly it would be something that we could comment on at a high level, right? So,
Yeah.
something probably something probably more straightforward in terms of, is this feasible or is it not, right? Because we definitely want to make
Yeah.
sure that, the different layouts or the different capacities that we are considering as part of this effort, whether they are feasible or not. At least fundamentally, if we can get someone who can definitely help us sort of do a fact check on that. Yeah, I agree. That would be really helpful. I'll have to. Can I ask someone on the call if anyone knows someone from Schneider who is quite involved with OCP that we could maybe get in touch with? Is anyone aware on the call? With Vertiv, we already
Yeah,
have
yeah,
someone, so.
I'm the original author of the 90 kilowatt specification, Robert Bunger. He
Yep.
who also has been one of the predecessors or predecessors of the modular data center group. He is now leading in the data center facilities group, leading a sustainability issue again. So he's back in the game. I would because when I was talking about it, I was thinking about reaching out to him.
All right. Excellent. Yeah. Then that's great. It seems like you already have someone lined up. So I'll leave that to you, Carl. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll reach it out to them. Not so much. I have not so much somebody on the Vertiv side, but maybe if somebody's on the call or has somebody is within the OCP network, would be nice to include them.
Yeah. So from the Vertiv side, we have Benny Bray, who actually joined the call at the start, but I think maybe he had to drop off or had technical issues. So we do have someone from Vertiv that we can talk to and get support either in terms of reviewing the information for accuracy or so on and so forth. I think we can certainly do that.
Great. That would be really nice.
And Carl, not to put words in your mouth, but I think the intention is for us to maybe start meetings pretty soon in the next week or two.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, we also thought about scheduling when this could happen. With the usual European Pacific Coast dilemma that for the Americans probably would be in the mornings, and for us in the afternoons or evenings. But I think we want to get that we want to get it started.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this because this should be I've never done modular data centers before, but I'm curious to know how far hybrid cooling can take can help densify that. So this should be an interesting study for sure.
No, I think it will also really interesting to see those originally hyperscale technologies intended to put in a smaller form factor, and that will be really good for people to easier interact with OCP liquid cooling, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Carl. And the last topic that I had on here, unfortunately, Sankar could not make the call. He sent me an email in the morning, but um, with regards to the white paper on comparing the coil variants for door heat exchanger solutions, specifically, the fin tube aluminum/copper version and versus which is more predominant in the industry versus the aluminum microchannel heat exchanger, which is more prevalent in the automotive industry. We do have an initial outline that was presented on the previous call. This document should be accessible to everyone, and I hope everyone has access to these door heat exchanger meeting notes. If not, let me shoot it in the comments so everyone has access to it. I just put a link over there. But effectively, the microchannel solution for door heat exchanger is going to be a pretty interesting topic because it has to do with looking at an existing technology, thinking about it from multiple standpoints, not just performance, but maybe weight, cost, considerations of the loop, so on and so forth. And then, looking at this aluminum microchannel heat exchanger technology and trying to understand, does this technology bring any specific benefits that might be worth considering as part of door heat exchanger solutions? So um, this is something that's been sort of roughly formulated over here. It's going to be a white paper, um, and on that topic, I did reach out to Boyd about getting support for performance calculations for traditional door heat exchangers. This is something that we leverage as part of the white paper that we had worked on last year. So the intention is to have a POC or someone supporting the door heat exchanger OCP efforts, and predominantly we will see that support as part of the modular data center study, as well as this white paper on comparing the FinTube incumbent solution versus the potential of the aluminum microchannel heat exchanger. So I did take an action item prior to this call to reach out to Boyd. They are committed to OCP, but right now I think they are having internal discussions as to who that engineering resource will be. So hopefully the next time we meet, we'll have that sort of squared away. And then I think we can get started on these efforts with gusto. All right. Do we have any other topics? Anything anyone else would like to bring up that's not been covered either on this call or any previous calls.
Sorry to speak up again, John, but I had been fortunate to meet the guys that I showed you who have who run this real heat exchanger data center, this green cube, and the people who build those kind of concept of data centers. And I'll try to at least get them to hold a presentation on this call, get them in this community, because I think if people see, okay, we have a direct a real heat exchanger product, and there are also people who have dedicated designs for data centers out there, then it's easy for them to include that in their considerations. And I'll try. We have a follow-up meeting on some of the technologies I'm working on, and I think it would be good to ask them if they want to present on on their behalf in your group.
Please, yeah. Please let me know how we can accommodate them. I mean, I think everyone would love to hear about what they're doing. One thing I would request is for them to include like hey, here's what we would like to see, right? Like from the green cube perspective, here's what we'd like to see sort of grow or develop through OCP. I think we would love to hear what their thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that were good. I'll take that into consideration, because I should have a follow up with them over the May, and they are quite active. Yeah, also have more and more inquiries because of liquid cooling. So eventually, it would be, I think, a good connection to make now for them to be aware of those open efforts, and for us to see who has experience already with the piping and what they do, and they have a way of building really cost-effective data centers.
Carl, do you have a link that I can maybe put in here in the meeting material? So, I mean, I've heard of GreenCube through you, to be perfectly honest.
I'm just thinking about the latest company who's building or who's holding that patent or that license for that solution. It's let me see, data centers. Oh yeah, here's a link. I'll put it in here. Chat. Here it is. So that's the company who's building that concept now, and maybe able to find the green cube as well. It's with the Helmholtz Institute, who run. They're basically something like a smaller CERN variant. They also do accelerator research and are a bit smaller and not cross national. But they also work on some of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I found it. Not 100% sure if there's a English-speaking version.
Oh, I already did that. You just need to change it to EN at the end. It makes it.
Yeah. And no, it was now there's a second link in there, and let me see. That could be potentially. Oh no, there's English version too.
Oh, is it on the? So, okay, yeah, I remember these pictures that you shared with me. Yeah.
Yeah, what they're doing is basically, it's not a traditional multi-level data center, but it's it's one of those high logistic, high loading stacks, basically. Where you like a huge cupboard in a way, and that helped them to build quickly and also do quite
Okay, let me change this out and put this one in. There we go. Yeah, so if anyone's interested, Carl has already shared the link in the chat, and yeah, and I've also included a link in the meeting notes, so everyone should have access to it. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Carl. I guess I'll wait for you to let me know when the folks from the Green Cube will be available to make a presentation. Yep. All right. Do we have any other topics? All right. If not, thanks all for joining the call, and we'll chat in the coming weeks. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, you too. Bye bye, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you all.
Thanks, John.